Hello again. Um, Here's the thing. With most of my game reviews, uh, depending on the format that it's in, I will either give you guys a video or I'll show you guys, and almost always if I have the game case, I'll show it to you. Be like, time to review this. As you can see, nothing in my hands. I don't actually own the game that I'm about to review. My little brother and my girlfriend own the game, and I borrowed it from my girlfriend, played it for a few days, managed to beat it, and I'm ready to review it. Uh, Now, you're probably wondering, if I don't own the game, is this going to impact my review negatively? Um, you could say that, and you'll find out why. So let me get started. I'm going to be reviewing today Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. This is the first Zelda game that I've played since Ocarina of Time, which, to be quite honest, I've never actually played from start to finish. That's like almost 10 years ago, and all I did was, me and my friend would like fish or something. He actually owned the game, I didn't. Uh, so this is actually my first. Um, uh, this is my first time getting into the world of Zelda, and actually playing through and actually exploring the world of Zelda. So um, I gotta say, in terms of if you're not a Zelda fan and you've never gotten into the games, this would be a good game to go through because it's really compact. It really gets you the feel of Zelda, I think. I don't have anything to compare it to, so it's going to be kind of hard to, make a claim like that. But it definitely strives to live up to its predecessors, I think. Um, and the way that they went about doing it, the cell shading and um, basically the size of the game is really what makes it kind of unique. It's a quick game. You could probably finish it in a few days if you play a lot. Um, but I do have complaints. It is a good game in that respect about the size of the story, size of the world, the fact that it's on the DS handheld, and some puzzles and challenges. For the most part, it feels like a Zelda game. It feels what I believe a Zelda game is supposed to be like, but it does fall short on several levels. Starting with, oddly enough, the controls. If you watched my Prince of Persia review, I believe, I mentioned I hate that the DS does not give players enough of a chance to choose between using the DS stylus or the D-pad. I hate that. In fact, I believe I mentioned on my Final Fantasy III review, or if I didn't, I should have, that I could change between the two, and that made me really happy. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass does not give you the option of doing that. You have to use the DS stylus, which does become cumbersome at times. Um, Especially, and this is what pissed me off the most about this game, there is a place, I don't remember where, in this game where you meet like a fallen soldier. It's just a pile of bones, and his spirit is like talking to you. And I don't know what possessed the people at Nintendo or whoever made this game to actually put it in the game. They make a mention of not being able to use the D-pad and how they wish they could have. The fact that Nintendo put that in there extra pissed me off. They know that people want to use the D-pad. They obviously know it, and yet here they are not putting a choice to use it, and that's just irritating. But I'm going to move on from there, and I'm going to get into the heart of the thing, the story. It is a handheld, so the story isn't going to be, vastly huge compared to, like a console version or something like that. There is far too many repetitiveness, back and forth, back and forth. You're constantly returning to the same place, going through the same levels just to get to a lower level of this temple, and it's very annoying. I felt that instead of compressing your adventure to like 4 small areas of the ocean, they should have really expanded it. They really should have. They could have cut out all this repetitive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until, maybe the final boss go back to the first temple. But having to go back 5 or 6 times is a little ridiculous. They could have made this into a huge world, and I would have fell in love with this world. It would have been awesome if it was that big, but they didn't do that. I think they could have, but I don't know. I'm not technical with the whole space on the DS cartridge, but whatever. That's one of my main gripes, the back and forth. Some of the puzzles are difficult, and I gotta say, I feel a little stupid because they have simple solutions and I just wasn't thinking. You might get stuck, but it's not that hard to, pick up and play. One of my issues is that you use a boat to get around to where you need to go, which is unique, I think, and I think it's paying homage to Wind Waker, and I've never played that, but I know about it. But on such a small screen, it really gives you the scope of the world. It takes a long time going where you need to go, but then again, the boat goes really slow. And it isn't until you possibly find these little, little signs and, this, chalkboard thing to have frogs use a hurricane to flip your boat and move it to other portions of the ocean. That just seems out of the way. They could have just given you the option of, once you reach a certain place once, click it, bam, you're there. You don't have to do the whole tugboat thing, and that's something that got annoying. But I think overall, for all its flaws and the issues that I had with it, the story is decent enough. The gameplay is there. The world feels large, despite the fact that it seems very small, which is kind of it's really an oxymoron. A big world, but it's small, and it's kind of, contradicting itself. But it works. The question is this game worth picking up? This game has been out for a while. I know that much. And the fact that it's still $35, at least the last time I checked, it was still $35 brand new, not worth it. If it drops down to $20, I'll pick it up. And I recommend you do the same. Even if you're not a fan of Zelda, pick it up. You might become a fan. But definitely, at the price that it is now, borrow it from a friend like I did. It's a fun experience over the course of a few days to even a week, depending on how fast you play. And if I had to give it a score, Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, in terms of a Zelda game, not bad. I'm going to give it an 8, maybe an 8.25, something I've never done before. 8.25 out of 10, there you go. 8.25 out of 10, that's my final score. It's a good game, price is too high, and there's been my review of Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. Later.